Hi.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Nikki and this is my book nook. Y'all, today we are talking about Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. This is the first book in the Hot and Hammered series, and I agree, that's a very interesting name for a series. I'm on board with you, but just a little foreshadowing here after finishing this book. I understand. But yes, I didn't even really know this series existed until a few months ago. I had heard a ton about Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey, and I didn't realize until I read It Happened One Summer, which I absolutely loved and adored. 5-star book, 110%. I didn't find out until I was reading that book that this was actually a full series, and as I understand it, these are kind of standalone novels. I think you can read them separately or skip some books if you want to, but I'm just very much a stickler for following an author's process. I'm like, they know what they were doing. They wrote the books in this intended order. Like, I don't want to skip around if I don't have to. So I just thought I would give this first book a try. And I have so many thoughts. So basically, this story follows a girl named Georgie Castle. She is from a small town and her family owns a sort of renovation business. Like, they flip houses and it's a big family business. Like, they're very well known for that. And she is the youngest of 2 siblings by a little bit of a chunk, so she's always kind of been like seen as just like the youngest Castle sibling. And growing up, Georgie's older brother Steven was best friends with this guy named Travis. Can you see where this is going? Brother's best friend. I've been unintentionally reading so many of these recently, and I can't say I'm mad about it, but basically Travis was the absolute star of the baseball team whenever he was in high school, and he ended up going on to play professionally in the MLB, and Georgie has been in love with him for her entire life, like head over heels, undying, unrequited, eternal love for Travis. But of course, he has absolutely no idea because he's just her older brother's best friend, and she's always just been that little kid that's there. You know how it goes with this trope. But now Georgie is grown up. She's 23 years old, and Georgie is an entertainer of sorts. This part of the story was honestly very odd to me. Even at the end, I'm still like, why? Why did this have to be the thing? Georgie is a clown. Quite literally. She works children's birthday parties, so she does like lots of different things. She loves kids, and it's like her biggest passion to be around kids, entertain kids, but she is literally a clown. Like, she goes dressed up as a clown, she like paints their faces, she does activities with them, and she absolutely loves it. And she's been able to make like a pretty good living off of doing that. And now at the beginning of this story, we find out that Travis, even though he did have a really good run in the MLB, he was a huge star, he had a really horrible injury happen to him that pretty much just like made it the end of his career. He got released by his team, he's over, he's 28 and he's retired. He has enough money to last the rest of his lifetime, but like, obviously being a professional athlete, like that's something you work up to your entire life. It's something you like look forward to. So it's obviously gonna be a very big like shock and trauma to you to just be like ripped out of that so quickly, and like at 28 years old be like, what the heck am I gonna do with the rest of my life now that I have all the money in the world and I can do anything I want? Like, it's a very big jarring thing to happen. So Travis at the beginning of this story has just come back to this small town where he's obviously like a superstar everywhere, but in this small town, like, he's a mega superstar. Like, all the ladies love him, everybody, all the guys love him. Everyone's like, oh my God, Travis Ford, he's back in town. And Travis is not doing well. Of course, he is trying to figure out his next steps in life, and everyone is babying him except for Georgie. The start of this story is basically her like storming into his house being like, Travis, get your shit together. Like, life has to go on. You're gonna mope around forever. You're gonna do nothing. You're just gonna like live in your filth and eat pizza and just get fat and go to the bar every night and just drink away your sorrows. Like, you're better than that. Come on, get your shit together. Travis is super annoyed by her, is like, leave me alone. There's a lot of like banter back and forth. But yes, this story is dual point of view, so we get to see it from both of their sides, and then that's kind of how the story starts. After that, we really get a look inside of Georgie's head to understand what she's been going through. Like I said, she does have this successful little party business, but it's really just a one-woman show at this point, and she's looking to expand. She wants to make it into a full-blown like business where she has like contractors and stuff to run these parties, but she's just really struggling in this town because she's always just been known as like the youngest Castle sibling, and like so many people just look at her as a child and quite literally as a clown. Like, she just feels like nobody thinks of her as an adult, nobody takes her seriously, and she finds it very frustrating. She's always kind of been like excluded within her family because they run a family business. She's the only person that's not like a part of that business, and like she just has a hard time being a part of the discussion, like at family dinners, just like getting her voice heard. Like her siblings, her parents still look at her as like the little baby sister. When she's 23 now, like she's an adult and she deserves to be a part of the conversation. So that's really what she's struggling with, like finding her next step, like getting the opportunity to expand this business and for people to like take her seriously and get more clients, yada yada. While that is going on Georgie's side, Travis kind of like subconsciously, what does that mean when you do something but it's like inside of your brain, like you don't consciously do it? Subconsciously. Oh my god, what is English? I read books every day of my life, but I don't know what subconsciously means. That's kind of embarrassing. But basically, even though like Georgie has been pestering him and he's been like driven crazy by her, like telling him to get his life together, whatever, she somehow ends up like weaseling her way into his mind. He's like, okay, the first step is like, I need to find something to do to, you know, use my time and just get me motivated, get me out of the house. So he ends up approaching Steven, Georgie's brother, and asking if he can work for their business and work with him, fixing up houses, doing contract work, all those types of things. So that's what he starts to do. And then at the same time, he ends up getting a call from his agent. His agent basically informs him that the Bombers, a baseball team, is looking for a new commentator to be like the face of their team, and they're very interested in him. There's a couple people on their list, but Travis is one of their main contenders for the spot. But the big issue with Travis is he is well known amongst literally everybody as a player, like a womanizer. People literally refer to him as two bats because he goes through women like you would not believe. He's never had like a stable girlfriend, and they're really looking for this commentator to be a family sort of man, like someone that is very wholesome. Like they don't want this to be someone that's like in the media every day with a new scandal. So that's their main concern when it comes to Travis. So altogether, what ends up happening, and this is on the back of the book, I'm not giving a spoiler away, Travis and Georgie both figure out that they can benefit from pretending to date. Travis will have this wholesome image of, look at me, I have a steady girlfriend that's from my hometown, she works with kids, so cute and wholesome. And Georgie will benefit from dating Travis because every girl in town is in love with him, and it will make people see her as not just a kid and like take her seriously. Obviously there's some like ways that can backfire because Travis is known as a player, but she feels all in all that like her family, even if she dates this boy that's been a part of their life for so long, that he's always been, you know, he's like as old as her older brother, like her family will see her as older, they'll see her as a real woman, people in town will know that she's dating Travis Ford, who's this massive celebrity. Like it will help her to be taken seriously and be seen as a woman. And so they end up agreeing to fake date each other to benefit each other. And we all know what happens with the fake dating trope. It is one of my absolute freaking favorites. You know, you make this deal and you're putting on this show and you want people to think that you're in love, but along the way it's like, wait, are we actually in love? What is happening here? But yes, that is basically like the premise of this story. Everything else, if you want to know, you're gonna have to read it for yourself. Now I just want to kind of give my thoughts on it. This book overall, it was a very easy read. It was very good. What I will say personally for me, I think the story and the plot of this was about a 3.5 out of 5 for me, but the spice, 5 out of 5. Like maybe the best, one of the best. I don't know, Penelope Douglas is my spice queen, but like I have no words. So like Tessa Bailey genuinely could probably go to prison for how deceiving her books are. The only other book I've read by her so far is It Happened One Summer, but all of her books, the covers are so cute and wholesome looking. They're all colorful. They're like cartoon characters. Like even the font, like this is a goofy, cute little sweet moment. Like I could 100% see like a 12-year-old girl walking to Barnes & Noble and being like, Mommy, can I read this for my first romance book? Like look how cute and sweet it is. If I was a mother, I wouldn't even think anything of it. I'd be like, sure honey, go for it. And then the next thing you know, your daughter is scarred for life. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm here for it. It's just funny to me. Like I feel like the vibes of her covers do not at all match what is inside. But yeah, the spice was very good. I just think it really, for me, was like the forefront of this story. It was like a big chunk of the book. And again, I'm not complaining, but I think so much of the focus was on that like the story itself was like really not that complex. And not every story has to be, honestly. Like, I've been in a horrible reading slump the last like week and a half. Like, nothing has sounded good. I've started several books and I'm just like, meh, I don't know, like I haven't been motivated. And I picked this up just because like I got it in and I was like, let me just try it. Somebody swiped up on my story and said they really liked it whenever I posted it. And I'm like, you know what, let me check it out. And I flew through over half of this book literally in one sitting. Like, I read 18 chapters without stopping. It was such an easy read. It pulled me right in. It was really cute. It was really fun. Like, I don't have any complaints about it, but it just wasn't like the most like groundbreaking, amazing thing I've ever read. Without like giving anything away, a big thing for me, just in books in general, in romance books, is the slow burn aspect of it. I don't like things to happen too quickly. I really like a build up. I love a build of tension, and I feel like that's especially important for me when it comes to a book with the fake dating trope. Like, I think the fake dating, what's so fun about that is you're putting on a show in front of everyone and you're making them think you like each other, you're into each other, when in reality, like, you know, like in private, you're not doing any of those things. Like, you're just, this is all a game, like it's all a secret. And I like the like slow build of like that coming to a head and like the explosion of passion and you realizing you're into each other. And I feel like this book, we didn't really get that. Like, I think things happened in it a lot quicker than I wanted them to. But overall, it was a good book. If you're a fan of Tessa Bailey, if you like a rom-com with a lot of steamy moments, I promise you will not regret reading this. Was it the best thing I read all year? No, but did I enjoy it? 100%. But yes, those are my thoughts. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. If you have read Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey or any of the other books in the Hot and Hammered series, I would love to know how you liked them down below. Which one is your favorite? I don't know if I'm gonna read the second book in the series. Y'all tell me. It's about another girl that we see in this book, but that storyline to me, it's about like a marriage that's like struggling, falling apart. The guy was like in the military. I think there's like some PTSD aspects to it. And literally none of that interests me. So if I can, I really want to skip that book. If you guys have read all the books in the series and you feel like I can and I can just skip straight to Bethany's book, which is Tools of Engagement, I would love to do that. But let me know if it's necessary. I'll do it. I'll follow. I'll listen to you guys. But yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.